Nigbetu alaya zaybi mechashmamanim over to Chaimos Migdalai Itimo Kodashvanim Nim Yevanim Nigbetu alaya zaybi mechashmamanim over to Chaimos Migdalai Itimo Kodashvanim Omi noisa kan kanim nasones las mishoy shanim maybe no you may shmoina kobushir nanim Omi noisa kan kanim nasones las mishoy shanim maybe no you may shmoina kobushir nanim. Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Afreilichen Chanukah. Zois Chanukah. Lili nishmas mirosi ruspas Mordechai. And the schus b'ni Akiva Simcha ben Fego. Today, we have some amazing guests here. If you ever watched The Magic of Her Belly, over 20,000 views. One of my favorite guys there is Jeff Gordon from Florida. Jeff, get over here. Yeah, come get over here. It's unbelievable to finally meet you. Unbelievable. It's a schus. All the way from Florida. We're in Florida. Boca. You say Boca. Boyne. Shalom Aleichem, Jeff. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to... It's his birthday present. They brought him here on his birthday. Michael Ben Chitrit, Yishkoyach. I spoke about this many times, and I have a tremendous honor and schus. When COVID hit, the day COVID hit, what was it? It was Shabbos Daf Yud Beis. We were all so excited. Everybody said, Shabbos, Bo Shabbos, Bo Menucha. Brachas was going 80 to 100 people in this place, Medrash. There were 2-3 cabs from Yerushalayim lined up outside every day. New guys that we never knew. This new guy, Fischel, came, and then this guy and that guy, all these people. And all of a sudden, and then Shabbos comes. We had a big siyum on Shabbos, on Brachas and Shabbos. And then it all came to a screeching halt. How depressing, sitting there in my dining room by myself, talking to a phone. We didn't know if we had enough water stored up and toilet paper and this, and there's no... And then Rabbi Avram Tikotsky, who's sitting right over here, tremendous honor, he sent me a gift at the end of Brachas, but it took a few weeks. You know how it goes here with the mail? And I get a knock on the door, and there's a big giant picture. I brought it with me. I had to schlep it through the street here. I wanted to show the island what it looks like. And on the bottom, it's inscribed, presented to Rebbitzin Eli Stefansky on the occasion of Siyum Masechtas Brachas Tovshin Pei. Thank you for sharing your husband with the world. Mr. and Mrs. Avram Tikotsky. Yishkoyach, he never thanked you in public. Yishkoyach, thank you. It meant tremendous chizuk. And this, when you walk into my house, this is the first thing that you see. It's right there. Hakar Satayv, I have tremendous Hakar Satayv to him. So Yishkoyach for coming, Yishkoyach for visiting. And I spoke to your son, I think it was, on Shabbos. And he told me, back then you wrote in the email, you said that you took up from the brachas, we were learning that when you say Kiddush, you should wear a hat. It doesn't say black hat, a hat, a special koiva. And you took upon yourself, you said, oh, and I spoke about it, I said, I never knew, and Al Bezer some start, you said, you're going to start, and now the Yemazeh, you do it. That's what he said. Unbelievable. These small things, taking from the daf, small steps. I mentioned to him also on Shabbos that one of the biggest nachases I ever had was somebody pointed out to me just a week ago. He said, look around the Beis Medrash in the middle of Chazor Shashatz. I looked around, yeah? He says, you see, there's not a single person sitting here in the Beis Medrash because a couple of weeks ago I mentioned in Shir that there's a Ramah that says that Chazor Shashatz is so important, you shouldn't be learning Torah, and if you say Shnai Mikra during Chazor Shashatz, you're not Yoitza. If you learn, you're not Yoitza. All these things. And the Ramah says you should stand during Chazor Shashatz. It's chashuv. It's important. The Zohar says it's more choshev, then davening. And lo and behold, everybody's unbelievable that these little things that we're learning, it's not stam, I got it that we're learning. People are taking things to heart. Anyways, Rabbi Sai, tremendous mazel tov. My Rebbe, my Chavrusa became a grandfather, Rabbi Yedida Kramer. Mazel tov, look at the shock. That's why I wasn't there yesterday. Today, this morning, 5:40 in the morning, at a grandson. So I also want to say, Baruch Shasali Neis B'Mokem Hazeh. I knew it's going to happen, and it will happen again. For over, I don't know what the days, I didn't look, but 730 days of a streak, not missing my alarm clock. And finally, it happened yesterday. I missed the alarm clock, but not only did I miss it, it's because it's Sunday morning. Usually I don't prepare that well for the Sunday shir. I usually prepare it late Motzei Shabbos, early Sunday morning. Missed it all. But what was the nace? It's going to happen. But what's the nace? You finally bring cocoa into the base measure, that's what happens. It exploded on your kid. I said, they had a fight with me. I'm not kidding. This just happened in front of my face. I said, why is there no cocoa? The kids like cocoa. He said, well, it's very messy. I said, it doesn't matter. Even if it's messy, the kids like it. That's why they come. Look how many kids, Baruch Hashem, we have here. And the kids give chizuk to the adults. So they brought cocoa. I'm watching right now. And my twin's son, the entire thing exploded. The whole thing. It's not his fault. It's Yeshua's fault, but it's all over him. Get over here. Come here. What's his name? Eli, get over here, Eli. You gotta, the idol's not going to believe this. Come here with the cocoa. Come. Say it's good. It's shmak. Come. No. Why do you take off your jacket? With your jacket. Put it on. Wow. Look at this. Unbelievable. Here you go. Here. I'm going to wear this one. I like it. Rabbi Isai, the kids need cocoa. It doesn't matter. Here. Shkoyach. All right. So, no, but the nace was that it did happen, but it happened, I think, in the easiest daf in the entire shaas. It just, for some reason, no, some of the dapim, even the gata ones have a little, the words are harder, the sugya, there's a little bit of a sugya in there. Garnished. It flowed. Baruch Hashem. Rabbi Yisai, a couple of announcements. We're getting to new masechta, and we have to pump. I don't want to be stuck with 1,500 gemaras. We ordered a lot of gemaras. I need your help. I'm begging you for your help. Get your friends to join. We also, for this coming Masechta Megillah, Dr. Listhouse sponsored $25,000 towards the Masechta. I want to show you something amazing. I didn't realize when I got this. Tomer gave me this. The cover is different. It says it's not about the Daf, it's about the Yomi. It's Gishmak to do Daf on the cover. Of course, special America's Daf Yomi edition. But look at this. You open it up. It's not a sticker. This is printed into the art scroll. This is part of the art scroll. So you could be right over here on the front page, right over here. This right over here is $25,000. This over here, he also donated $25,000. Miran Nakash, anonymous. We're not going to say his name. But if you want to, Marshall Sokowitz, Akiva Sokowitz, $6,000. Got him over here. You want to be the main donor, $25,000 or so. Speak to the guys. We're looking for Moed Katan and Chagiga. We don't have a donor yet for those Masechtas. Chaparai, one of the biggest mitzvahs you can possibly do. For $25, you get a guy to start Torah, learning Torah, and changing his life, changing his children's life, changing his friend's life, the whole thing. Now, I want to tell you this before I forget. Nissan again sent me this morning. He invented this last night. If you go to mdymessage.com, open it up. Yosef, try on your phone right now. Go into your browser. See what happens. Bemis. See, you'll crash it all together. Go into your browser, write this down. mdymessage.com. What's going to happen is it's going to bring you to a WhatsApp page, hopefully. I tried it out right before Shir. Brand new, off the press. Usually these things crash. Multi's trying it out. Yeah, there's a million different things. MD loves buying domains in the channel. mdymessage.com. It's going to populate a WhatsApp page, and then you click what friend you want to send it to. And then you take that message and you just forward it to your own status. Shalom Yisrael. Now, talking about statuses, I'm only going to read one email. Listen to this. And then you get a friend, you get a raffle, this or that. You're going to be in a raffle for a shaas. Here we go. You get a free Gemara. If you bring a friend, you get this. and your friend gets this. Not stam this. Look at this. Unbelievable. In the page, not normal. Okay. I've been pushing off. This is from Akiva Tepper. I got it just an hour before Shir. From Cedarhurst, New York. Akiva Tepper. I don't see what time it is. I'm just going to go. No way. Bemis? Wow. Okay, we got to do this quick. I've been pushing off, sending you a message. I wanted to email you after we completed Masechta Sukkah, the first Masechta I joined the Daf, how MDY and Yeshaya was the first time I had opened the Gemara in 20 years, let alone complete a Masechta. But I waited. Then I wanted to send you a message after the Beitzah to thank you and MDY family for completing my second Masechta through the Yom Nerayim and Sukkahs. I thought I wouldn't be able to find the time. I'd fall off the bandwagon, but no. I made time before davening, after davening, Chalamoid, and continue through. Then came Rosh Hashana, and a message from Chaim Gewurtzman, a close friend in Waterbury, Connecticut, that he was hosting a Sima Rosh Hashana because he saw how myself and others had joined the Daf and MDY, and not only was he completing Rosh Hashana, but so were others that he recruited. Now, when we are a week away from completing Taanis, I received the following message. Listen to this, Rabbi. Look what somebody sent them. Hey, this is the message. Hey, just wanted to give you a shout out. Made my first siyum in 15 years today at Rosh Hashana at my Chanukas Habayis Chanukah party. In other words, yesterday, on Chanukah, this person made his first siyum in 15 years. How? Credit your constant WhatsApp status back then to start the daf with the Eli Stefansky, and I'm 15 blot away from finishing Maseches Taanis. Thank you. He had no idea. He put on his status and he went to sleep. Now the guy's messaging him that it's his first siyum in 15 years. So you could do that also. There's no reason to postpone. Put on your status and Shalom Yisrael. You could, but I think you're mechuyev to. When are you going to do it? Ooh. I'm doing it right now, Chacham Batata. Anyway, everybody has different ways of doing it. I'm sitting here talking to hundreds of people, and he's telling me, when are you going to put it on your status? Unbelievable. People are go'inim. Like, I'm not going to Shuli Worstyle to tell him to put on a status when he sits at the Agudah convention for 45 hours straight. If you're lazy and you don't go put on your status. I'm telling you, this is the last of the last, Yeshua. He said, when I do it, he'll do it. I'll do it right now. Here. Every day. You can't change. Okay. No, I'm not doing it right now. I posted on my never thinking much about it. But your Torah pyramid scheme is working. I joined back in Thomas after hearing the Meaningful People podcast, and others have joined because I've mentioned it to them personally because they saw it on my WhatsApp status. Myself, along with so many of my friends, are learning with you our daily discussions. Listen to this. Daily discussions now include what's on today's daf. We look forward to the Siyumim, MDY Flapish Chevra, David Zlating, Shalom Ran, Akiva Solkowitz, 7:30. Who cares? Look at this email. Today I said, enough with waiting and trying to find words to thank you for your Torah. Then I asked him, could I put this on? Could I read it? He says, sure. Thank you again. My son was asked to speak. He's 10 years old. At Schalas Gemara last week. I sat in the back of the room, my eyes filled with tears, not only from the immense nachas I had from him, but the nachas I had for myself, and appreciation I have for Gemara that I did not have a year ago, much thanks to you. Akiva Tepper, Cedarhurst, New York. Unbelievable email. Shkoyach Gadol. And today, we're holding only on Daf Amud Beis, 45 lines from the bottom, Chanan Hanechba. I have no idea where it is. It's like smack in the middle of the very wide lines. We're talking about Choni Amagel's descendants, 10 lines from where it gets wide, from the top. 10, from where it gets wide, go down 10 lines, that's where it is. Chanan Hanechba. All right. So, this grandchild of Choni Amagel, Bar Barati de Choni Amagel Hava, Ki Mitzrach Alma Lemitra Oy Vavoy. There's no sponsors today, are there? Okay, well, I'll put them in later. We don't have time for sponsors. Ki Mitzrach Mitra Alma Lemitra Havi Mishadri Abonon Yunuke de Bay Rav Ligabe. Now, real quickly, why is that guy pouring liquor? What is going on here? This is Aziz Chanukah. Boys, I just want another controversial thing. When I was about 12 years old, the Baba Sali was nifter in Eretz Yisrael, and a book came out. And I remember reading the book. And since that time that I read the book, it always bothered me, this particular book. And I had many, many discussions, especially with Sfardim and Hasidim, and they always slammed me to the ground. They were not happy with me. And the question is, do I have a taina based on today's Gemara? Basically, in the book, it says the Baba Sali. Here, give me that bottle for a second. I need it for the. The Baba Sali would have a big kumzitz with people. You have a bottle of arak like this, and we pour and pour and pour, bottle after bottle. What? It was covered with the towel. Different stories. He was driving and they didn't have gas. He drove for hundreds of miles without gas. How many sipurim? And back then it always bothered me. And Adiyam is it bothers me. I don't know that these stories are accurate. I don't know who wrote them, didn't write them. But we see in the Navi that Isha Shunamis, she didn't have food for the Nevi'im. And they said, fill up a pot and there'll be more and more. In a crazy circumstance where you have to save Nevi'im, 50 Nevi'im, whatever it was. So Nevi'im could do things like that. Could people in our generation do it stam for the hak, to impress other people? It always bothered me. And if you could, does it take away from your schusim? But today I saw another unbelievable thing in today's sugya. Whether or not you could do it, and let's see. Says the Gemara. When we needed rain, they would send children to him. Why children? Says Rashi, because it would open his heart. He would see children, he would melt. And when he melted, he would daven a lot stronger. And they would grab onto the bottom of his clothing. Abba, havlo mitru. Tati, please give us some rain. Omar lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rebbeinu Shalom. Asay b'shvil elu, do for these youngsters. She'em akirim bein abba diyav mitra l'abba diyav mitra. They don't know the difference between a real father and you, Rebbeinu Shalom, who gives the rain. Why was his name hidden? Chanan the hider. Because he acted b'tznius in the bathroom. He covered himself always, even if no one was there. And another Pshat in Rashi is also that not in the Beis HaKisei, but he hid himself. He was when he davened, nobody knew about it, like we'll see soon in the Gemara. What is the difference between the Tkifim of Eretz Yisrael and the Chasidim of Bavel? Chasidim of Bavel, Rav Huna and Rav Chisda, for instance, the two of them, when there was a need for rain, let's gather in public. Everybody will see us daven together. The AC Mitra, maybe HaKadosh Baruch Hu will listen. So, two things. First of all, they needed two people. Second of all, it was in public. What about those in Eretz Yisrael? The Tkifim, Kigoy Rabbi Yoina Avu, the Rabbi Money, like Rabbi Yoina, have a mitzvah, Alma Lemitra, when they needed rain, have an Ayla Beise. You go up to his house. Guvalki or Gualki, Ve'ezil Ve'esili, Bezuzi Ibura. He would even hide it from his own family. That's a huge thing. You want to, sometimes in front of the family, you can do a maifis or two, or whatever, they know the truth. Over here, he hid it from his own wife. He says, give me some money, I want to go buy some food. Give me a zuz. But he went outside. He would find a lower place. You want to daven from a lower place. In a hidden place, nobody saw him davening. And he covered himself with the sack, and he davened, and rain would come, and nobody knew it came from him. When he came back home, where's the food? Amina, I realized, you realize it rained, nothing to do with me. It's raining outside. The price is going to drop now. Well, there's no point for me to buy. Kitzer, he hid everything. He didn't tell his wife, listen, I'm big by Moifis. By the way, the rain is me. Nothing. Nobody knew. Rabbi Money Brady have a comment in Benazera. Rabbi Money, his son. The people in the Nasi's house, they shepherded him. He went to his father's grave. Now, until I saw Rashi, I didn't understand what's going on here for a second. It makes a lot more sense. Rashi says not a grave. Remember, in those days, they used to bury in a cave. Now it makes more sense. It's a cave. These guys from the Nasi's house, the Reish Golos, they're bothering me. Now they're riding the horses over. If it's a grave, it's hard to understand. If it's a cave, it's nice and smooth on top. They're riding the horses. Their horses stopped in the track. Screeching halt, glued to the cave. This I didn't understand exactly. How did they know the problem exactly? Okay, they figured it out. that right here is Rabbi Yoina. What? It's Rabbi Yoina's place. We probably bother Rabbi Yoina's children. We're not going to do it anymore. As soon as they decided not to do it anymore, the horses were able to move. Visu. Crazy story. Huh? Visu. Rabbi Moni Havishchiach Kamei, the Rabbi Yitzchak ben Eliashiv. Omalei. Atir de Bechami Kometzarli. He told him, the rich guys in my Shver's house, they bother me. Omar Liano. No problem. Poof. I'm going to daven. They should become poor. They became poor. Vianu. Omar. So he comes running back. Kodachkuli. You see, you think it's better if this was like that. I would be much better off if my Shver's people over there, they would be poor. No. Because they're poor, every 2 minutes, hey, can I borrow your car? Can I use you this? You have a bottle of milk. Leave me alone now. I wish you were rich. Chepa me. It's okay. It's much worse now. So, Omar Liatru. I want them to be rich again. Liatru, they became rich. Omar. He said, I don't like the way my wife looks. Omar Le, Moshma, what's her name? Chana. Tisiapi Chana. Okay, she should become beautiful. Says Gemara of Nesiapis. Indeed it happened. Omar Le, hey. Now she's walking with her nose up in the sky. She thinks she's all that. Omar Le, Yachi, tax the Chana l'shachirusa. Let her go back to her being simple. V'chazr Chana l'shachirusa. Says the Gemara, Hanu Tritalmid the Hava Kamed Rabbi Yitzchak ben Eliashiv. Omar Le, Reboy Marachman Alan, the Nichkim Tuva. Could you please daven for us that we should be Talmid Chachamim? The famous Meiser where Yitzchak Elchanan, inspector, they say he didn't understand very much when he was younger, and he davened, he fell asleep davening, and then all of a sudden he was able to start, then he became Galadar, Yitzchak Elchanan. You daven for us, you're the Galadar, look, you changed the woman from this to that, poor to rich, rich to poor, daven for us. What does he say? Orlu, Imi Hoysa, I used to be able to do it, V'shilachtiya. I can't do it anymore. So if you look in the Gois Habach over here, he says, I accepted upon myself, it's too much. I don't want to do it anymore. Why? And the next one he says, it's too much tircha. It's not, you don't just stam, you rich, poor, blah, blah, blah. Enough. That's it. Makabel. Even though this is for Torah, fine. The Bali Musar bring this Gemara that sometimes if a person has a certain kishrin, it's not kedai to, or he felt it wasn't kedai to daven, they should be even smarter. Use your kishroinus. Maybe if you're too smart, you'll be like Einstein. You'll try to, I don't know, you'll do science, whatever it is. Concentrate with what HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you, your kishroinus, and finished. I don't know if that's so mochach over here, but I saw it once based on this Gemara. Rabbi Yosi bar Ravin, Havshchech Kamed Rabbi Yosi de Min Yoikras. So we have two Rabbi Yosis here. It's a little confusing, but not that much. We have Rabbi Yosi bar Ravin. Let's think about him for a second. He used to be a Talmud by who? By Rabbi Yosi de Min Yoikras. Shafke, he left him. And in the Gemara, it's always a big deal. When you leave your Rebbe and go to another Rebbe, it's like a patch in the face to the other Rebbe. He left him. The Gemara is going to explain why. And he started learning Torah by Ravashi. Sponsors. Okay, we're going to skip the Parnas HaKoil, which is Chayim. Maseches Taanis is dedicated by the Kessler and Davis families. Refuah shleima for Miriam Esther, devora. Parnas HaChodesh, the Hanas Brothers, in honor of the Hanasabzadeh and Krispin, Benazera Families, and Shlomo Lalezarian for inspiring us to join MDY. I guess Yoli is not here anymore. And MDY Monsey Teaneck Chevra as a Zechus for Shelaima for the son of our local MDY Chevra, one of our local MDY Chevra, Yeshaya ben Malka Chaya. Shkoyach. Oh, I need this for when we turn the daf. Zog the Gemara. Yoim Achad Shamed Kogaris. So Rabbi Yosi bar Ravin heard Rav Ashi learning Torah, Omar Shmuel, and he said like this: It's an incredible story. You have to understand, in those days, they didn't have Gdolim pictures, the magazines. They weren't really familiar how each other looked. So here you have a new person, Rabbi Yosi bar Ravin. He hears Torah. What does he say? Omar Shmuel. So if you are grabbing fish, I have a picture here, Stam, because Rashi has a very gishmaki kasher. If the fish dries out, kisela, the size of a sela, chayav. Even if it's flapping around, you think it's alive, you throw it back into the water, you just kill the fish on Shabbos. Netilas neshama on Shabbos, Issa deraisa. What other Issa is there for grabbing a fish out of the water? Tzeidah. Says Rashi, we're not talking about Tzeidah, because it's talking about something like this. If a fish is in a box, you caught the fish every Shabbos, you put it in the box, that's how you should live, like they do in the supermarkets. Now, these are not so kosher, and they don't have fins, but stop. You'd be chayiv deraisa if you took one of these fish out also. So you just put your hand in. You don't have to do tzeda. It's there already. You just wherever you put your hand, you're going to grab something, pull it out. You're chayiv for killing it if it dries up. Kisela. You forgot to mention that this sela has to be by its fins, because if it's in the middle of its body somewhere, it doesn't mean that just because it dried up a little bit, it's going to die. By its fin, it's going to die. I don't understand. He points at Rabbi Yossi bar Oven. You're the new guy. You're saying over halacha. It says, maybe gula. You don't want to bring a gula? You should say it in the name of Rabbi Yossi bar Oven. Unbelievable. I'm that guy. I'm not going to say it in my name. I'm him. No way. It can't be you. I know that the famous Rabbi Yossi bar Oven, who said this halacha that you're quoting now, he learns by somebody else. His name is Rabbi Yossi ben Yukras. You're right. No. So why do you switch Rabbeim? Why do you come to me? A person, a Rebbe, who couldn't care less, who is not so careful about his own son and daughter, he killed them because he thought they needed to die, as the Gemara is going to explain. It's dangerous territory. We had, like with Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, who was it? I forgot who it was. Rabbi Yosef. Rabbi Yossi didn't let his son, somebody. You can't go with Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. He's a dangerous man. If you say one word, poof, he got Askara, and he was choking on the boat. Remember the whole Maisa? You remember the Maisa. Okay, no, but there's certain people that are extreme, like Reb Shimon Bar Yochai. Oh, what are you working? Instead of learning Torah, poof, he burns people. Yeah, but that was because he was makbid on him, because he insulted him. Over here, the point is, you say the wrong word. We'll see in the story here. They didn't even do anything. It's their own son and daughter. The daughter didn't do anything. She was born a certain way. Killed her. There's a good reason. Okay, he's going to have a good reason. Rabbi Yossi bar Oven also. Rabbi Yossi bar Oven was XYZ. Boom, he's going to die. I'm just saying, Rabbi Yossi bar Oven says, I got to get out of here. He's dangerous. I just saw him kill his 2 kids. I'm leaving. How is he going to have Rachmanas on me? What was the story with his own son? He had people working for him out in the field. It became nighttime. There was a minhag. Some places, you work, you get a meal also. No food. So they tell the son, Kafina, we're starving. We just worked the whole day in the field. We have nothing to eat. They were sitting under the fig tree. Omar. So the son, he's the son of of Rabbi Yossi, of Rabbi Yossi ben Yukras. The father of Balmoifis, him also. Omar teina. We need some food immediately. Fig tree, give us some food. Apiku v'achlo, short off, poof, teinim come out. Adahachi v'hachi osavur. All of a sudden, Rabbi Yossi ben Yukras comes. Don't be upset at me. The nahagno, because it's nighttime. The reason I'm not here, I'm late. I was in the middle of a mitzvah. But the hashud the sagi, and it took me up until now. Omrulei, don't worry about it. Rahman Lizbach, Hashem should fill you. Just like your son did for me. I don't know what's playing, but whatever it is, it's too loud. Yishkoyach. Omrlu. Is it possible to lower it, please? Thank you. Omrlu mehecha. Where did he have food to give us? Omru. He took it out of the fig tree. Omar bini. You brought figs from a tree and you made a moifes at the wrong time. You don't belong in this world. Go back to the ground. How does that fit into Baba Sali's story? I don't know. Everybody looking at their own thing. What was the story with the daughter? No, this was over there. Okay. What's the story with the daughter? He had a beautiful daughter. He saw a person that he was peeking through a fence. Made a hole in the fence to look at her. What are you doing? Rebbe, I'm not going to be able to marry this woman. I shouldn't at least look. You're causing pain to humanity. Go back to your grave. Kids are extreme. The Gemara doesn't have a taina against him. It's on a different level that we don't understand this. Says the Gemara, he also had a donkey. The donkey didn't die. Don't worry, everybody. It was only his children. They used to rent out the donkey. They would put the money on the donkey and let the donkey run home by himself. If they gave too much, or too little, the donkey wouldn't go. One day, the guy renting the donkey, he left his shoes in the trunk. The donkey felt that not only is it getting the $10 a day, but also a pair of shoes. That means it's too much, I'm not moving. When they removed the shoes, in other words, even the donkey, like the chamar of, I don't know, prayed who was it with the meiser.
The nafkamina is that the dar needed it by Babasal. And therefore, if the dar needs it, you could do these things.
Okay.
That's the nafkamina.
We have tirutzim. Hold on, we're getting to another part that I want to point out here. Says the Gemara, Elazar ish birta can have a chazul legaboy tzedakah. Unbelievable story. When this is the reverse of everybody else. What happens when you see a guy collecting money? You hide under the table. Over here, it's the exact opposite. When the gaboyim, the guys collecting tzedakah, saw Elazar, they would hide under the table. Why? Can have a chazal legaboy tzedakah have a tashimine. They would run away from him. They call mine to have a gabay yavelu. He had a habit. Everything he owned, everything, his entire bank account, he would just give to tzedakah. They didn't want to hurt him. They made him go bankrupt yesterday. They're going to do it again today. He has money in his hand. He's going to buy things for her wedding. She's getting married. She needs stuff. So they noticed him, these gabayim. They ran away. So he ran after them. He catches them. What are you doing? What are you collecting for? Not just a simple case. We have a yasam and a yisayma. We're marrying them off together. They don't have money. We need to collect money. It's like Lashon Shvuah and the avodah beis hamikdash. Shein koydem lebiti. This is much more important than my own daughter. He took everything that he had in his hand, and he gave it to them. But he left one small coin. He bought a tiny amount of wheat and he puts it in his giant storage room. Imagine the size of this room, puts in a bag of wheat in the corner. His wife comes. No, what did your father bring today? Let's see the furniture he bought. Everything he bought, it's already in the storage room. Go check out over there. So she goes to open up the door. She can't open the door. The entire storage room is full of wheat. The dash is coming out of every hole. The door opened inwards. It pushed against the door. She couldn't open the door. It's too much stuff. As a brate lebei midrasha, she goes, looks for a father. Where is he going to be if not in the beis medrash? Look what your beloved, look what Anasi did. You put a little bag, came 1,000,000 times that amount. On my law, ha'avoida, harein hegdish alayich. It's for tzedakah only. Ve'ilach bohen elo ke'echod mani Yisrael. We cannot benefit from it. Now, this is going to be a mefurish Gemara, but let's see what Rashi says here. Smack in the middle of the page almost, maybe 1/3 down. Elo ke'echod mani Yisrael. This is the point I want to bring in about Sally. I hate pounding it again, but just look at it, you decide on your own. We cannot benefit from this at all. Mishum de maise nisimu. This was created through an ace. Ve'asur la'adam lehanois mimaise nisim. So if you're poured arak from Baba Sali, l'chayr, you're not allowed to drink it. Ve'asur la'adam lehanois mimaise nisim. Forget what he's doing and that he made an ace or didn't make an ace. But you yourself, the recipient, cannot benefit from an ace, says Rashi, based on the Gemara in a few minutes. Or you didn't see it. Mistama. So we have to have a teretz.
His donkey walked on.
Okay. So figure it out. Tell me what the pshat is. Maybe the story is not true. You didn't think about that one. No, the story is 100% true because so-and-so wrote it in the book.
There's a story that's 100% true about driving.
Anyways, listen.
That I can tell you. About the driving.
Okay.
Now, gas.
I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't believe it.
I'm
not makabel. Not makabel. I don't believe he did. Because he's such a holy man, I'm not makabel all these stories.
I read it.
Hi, Rav Eli. This is from Ari Green. I've been up north for the past few days, keeping up with the Daf online. Today I went with my family to the cave of Rabbi Rava and Rabbi Yehuda Nesiah. I was amazed to see that on the wall of cave of Rabbi Yehuda Nesiah was a Gemara from tomorrow's Daf. Please find the picture attached. Ari Green. Here it is. This is the cave of Rabbi Yehuda Nesiah. We're about to read it right now. It's on the wall. Rabbi Yehuda Nesiah gozer Taanisa. Rabbi Yehuda Nesiah said we have to make a Taanis. Boy, Rachameh v'loy osa mitra. He davened and nothing happened. No rain. Omar kama ikim mishmul aramasi Yehuda ben Gamliel. Look at the difference between Shmuel Hanavi and myself. Look at this generation that got stuck here. And in his generation, it's like this. We're going to see this lashon in the Gemara over and over. This is the lashon. This is the point. When a person becomes cholash daite, he becomes humble. He realizes he feels weak. He feels cholash daite. He feels humble. Asa mitra. Over and over. That's the whole sugya over here. There's a line from the Ropshitzer. There's not more crooked than a straight ladder, and there's nothing more complete than a broken heart. As always, a broken heart, that's when it comes. Says Gemara Debenisia, Gozar Tanisa Veloidin. Rabbi Yehuda Nesiah is not Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. I got caught with that once before. I'm not going to do it again. Rabbi Yehuda Nesiah is the grandchild of Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi. Hanasi and Nesiah is two different things. He made but this is not Rabbi Yehuda Nesiah. This is the Bein Nesiah. The Rosh goes. They made a Taanis, and they forgot to mention it to Rabbi Yochanan Shlokish. And they only found that in the morning. But we didn't accept the fast. We go whatever they do. It's our fast. The Ben Yisrael goes to Haris v'Le'asa Mitra. They made a fast and nothing happened. Listen to this. Rabbi Yeshaya gets up and he darshans. You know why it didn't rain? Because look at the head. You have to go by the head. Who's the head? You go by the eyes. Mashal akalashi bebeis avia. Kozman she'inei yafa is akala. When her eyes are pretty, they're nice. Ein kol gufa tzricha bdika. You know, she's in good health. Enei trutois. We have this lashon by Yashka. Enei trutois. But when her eyes are downtrodden, whatever, they're teary-eyed, whatever it is. Kol gufa tzricha bdika. You have to see. She looks tired. Her whole body needs to be checked. So Mela. Calorie fast and Daf Yomi. Very good. So too, the Nasi. If the Nasi is no good, he's the eyes, the top. If he's no good, no rain, he's no good. What a chutzpah. You're dashing like this barabim. The Nasi has his guys. They came, they started chepping him, they're throwing towels over him. Stop bothering him. The city people said to them, Shifke, leave him alone. Don't have mitzvah alone. Listen, he's one of these, he's like a mashgiach, he comes around, he gives mussar to everybody, he's mitzvah us. He means l'shem shamayim, he's a good guy, leave him alone. Kivin the chazin, they call mile, l'shem shamayim, l'amrile, midi, v'shavkin le. Atanam shifku, you should leave him alone, so they left him alone. Says the Gemara, Rebbe goes to Tanis v'lo mitra. Rebbe himself, the Galadar, wrote all the Mishnayos. Rebbe HaKadosh, it didn't rain. Nochas kame Ilfa. Ilfa comes. Bamri law, Rebbe Ilfa. Omar mashav ruach v'nosha zika. All he said is, Rabbi say it's one of the most amazing stories in Shas, I think. You have Rebbe, the Galadar, Zechus to write Shisha Sidri Mishnah for us. He davens for rain, nothing. Ilfa comes, Omar mashav ruach u'nosha zika. It starts blowing immediately, the wind. Moridat geshem v'asa mitra. It starts raining immediately. Omalei ma'uvdach. What do you do for a living? Omalei the yarna bekusta dechika the lesbe chamrli kedusha v'avdalta. I live in a place where nobody has money, and they don't have money for kiddush and avdalta. Tarachna ma'isina chamrli kedusha v'avdalta uma'piknalu yidecha v'sayu. Rabbi say, listen to this. I'm just putting this together because I always have a theory. If you sell toilet paper and you're good at it, you have a factory, you'll be a millionaire. If you, whatever it is, you sell fish, millionaire. You can be a millionaire from anything in this world. You sell pens, you'll be a millionaire. It might be a lot easier to do it in real estate, nursing homes, Bitcoin, whatever it is. But anything you take in this world, you sell plastic cups, you're a multimillionaire if you're the only guy in town. You see from here, unbelievable Yesod. The guy picked one thing. He was good at one thing. Kiddush. Kiddush and Havdalah. That's it. No. I'm going to make sure there's always Kiddush and Havdalah in this city. Is it the biggest mitzvah in the Torah? I don't think so. Maybe it is. I don't know. But that was his thing. And he was able to do things that Rabbeinu HaKadosh couldn't do. Unbelievable. One mitzvah. That was his thing. That was his shtick. So the Gemara saying, yeah. Okay, fine. Rav goes to Tanis Mitra. Rav, another amazing story. Rav, the Galadar in Bavel. It was in Eretz Yisrael also. Goes to Tanis Mitra. It didn't rain. The Chazan goes, the highest level of the highest level. As soon as he said the word Mashav Ruach, the wind starts blowing. I'm a Rebbe. And I treat the poor like the rich. Whoever can afford it. I don't take money from everyone. Visli, Pero, the Kavri, the Choman, the Posha, any kid that doesn't want to learn well, Minayu, I give him a little fish, I organize it for him, I make him feel good. At the Ossi Vikari. Can you imagine? A first grade Rebbe on a higher level in this way, not in the totality of it, but in the fact that Rav couldn't get rain, and this first grade Rebbe, who is he? A first grade Rebbe. First grade Rebbe who went out of his way to make Torah Geshmak for a little child, gives him a fish as a dessert, as a snack. That guy has more schusim than Rav. Unbelievable. Real quick story, because we only have 2 minutes to do Amud Beis, so you might as well just say the story. I thought it was an amazing story. You probably heard it, but it's kedai to repeat. There was a guy, the best bacher in yeshiva, got a shidduch, amazing shidduch, and at the Shevra brachas, he gets up to speak and he says, Rabbi Say, I am here only because of, he points to some guy. That guy, that's my second grade Rebbe right over there. That's why I'm here. What? He says, one day, somebody's watch was stolen in the class, and the Rebbe said, everybody line up. The Rebbe went through everybody's pockets, and he found the watch in my pocket. But he didn't show anybody that he found it. He hid it in his sleeve, and he put it in his pocket, and he finished the whole lineup. He says, Rabbi Isai, I know exactly which kid did it. The kid is the great kid. He's an amazing kid. He'll never do it again, I promise you. And this Rebbe never called up his parents and never mentioned it to him and nothing. He says, because of that Maisa, I'm here today. A Rebbe in second grade could lift up a kid and make him the top guy in yeshiva. That's this guy over here. Can have bigger schusim than Rav in some ways. Says the Gemara, Rabbi goes to Tanis boy Mitra. Rabbi also tried this, no rain. Rabbi Yehuda goes to Tanis also Mitra. Rabbi Yehuda was on such a level, it used to come. He started comparing them. Him to Rabbi to Rabbi Yehuda. What should I do? If it's because they're better learners than us, and we're better than them. The Rabbi Yehuda in his generation called Tanuye will turn to Daf Review sponsored. As for my siblings and myself, and in honor of my by Aaron Stroock, in honor of my parents Josh Naomi Stroock, in honor of my father being mesayem for shaas Rosh Hashana. What did I skip? Fourth line from the bottom. Yeah. Rav Nachman goes to Tanisa by Rachman V'Liyos Mitra. He says the Tainus. Someone shiklu Nachman. Shiklu Nachman. You saw Nachman Seltzer just left. That's why I had to read it after you left. Shiklu Nachman. Chavuta min gudel ha'ara. Throw him off a wall. Cholish daite v'asa mitra. He said it about himself. And again, we have this lotion of cholish daite v'asa mitra. Says the Gemara, Benazikin Ava. I can't read it now. Benazikin Ava. Where are we? Yeah. The Mishnah Rav Yehuda called Tanu Benazikin. We're holding in the middle of the other story. Rav Yehuda again. Rabbi Rav Yehuda was better. I read the whole thing. I returned the page. Yeah. Rabbi goes to Tainis. So you read it to yourself, and you get it, you'll chab. Rabbi was going to Tainis, and it didn't rain. So they said, but Rabbi Yehuda, he would do this, and it would rain. What do you think? He's better than me? In his generation, they only learned Nezikin, like today, yeshiva guys. Only Nezikin. And we learn everything. All shishas dar. When we started learning uktzin. Here, move that picture a little bit so I can see what time it is. The minutes also. Yeah, much better. 8:01. Oh, we have plenty of time. Don't get nervous. This only takes 3 minutes. If a woman is preserving vegetables. So we're talking about the sugya of yad. We're not going to go into it, obviously. Yad means that the handle, let's say you hold onto a stem of a fruit or any handle, the tumah could go from here to here or from here to here. Now, if she's kovesh, if she's preserving it, the leaves are also kavush tahirim. It's not considered a yad. The leaves are not a part of the thing anymore because they already lost their shape, the form and everything. Rav Yehuda himself, he didn't understand it so well. He said, this is like the major sugyas of Rav and Shmuel. But when we learn uktzin, the hard sugyas uktzin, we have 13 yeshivas learning. It's not a big deal. But Rav Yehuda, when he pulled off one shoe, it would start raining. We cry all day, but nobody cares. Now, if it's because of something I've done, says Rabbah, if somebody knows something about me, you should get up here and say what I did. We don't have the same generation. It's not my fault, says Rabbah. Says the Gemara, what happened with Rav Yehuda? What was the story? Rav Yehuda, he saw two people basically playing football with bread. Something like this. Playing around with bread. So he kind of cursed them. There should be famine in the world. You're going to play with bread? You don't play with bread. And that's it. It became famine. You are very frequent. By Rav Yehuda, you should do something. Bring him to the marketplace. He should see how hungry people are. He tricked him into coming. He came to the marketplace. He saw a big crowd. Why is everybody gathering? There's going to be a little box here. They're going to sell soon a couple of dates. For that, hundreds of people are coming around to chap the dates. Now I really see that there's a big problem in the world. Take off one of my shoes. Show that we're in pain. They took off one of his shoes. Started to rain. When he wanted to take off the second shoe, also I'm going to destroy the world if you take off the second shoe. Enough. This is the famous Ramari, the son of the daughter of Shmuel. We don't mention his father because his father was over in Aveira with her. He was a guy and then he became a ger. I was that day, when this story happened with Rav Yehuda, I was on the brink of the river Papa. I saw malachim from Shemayim with the wings, the whole thing. They dressed up like sailors. They were bringing sand, filling up a ship, and they filled it up with dirt, and the dirt turned into fine flour. So everybody wanted to buy. Dr. Factor. You cannot buy this flour. This is made through a nace. Now, it wasn't a human nace. Malachim were making it. Nobody had a clue. It came. Let's just buy it. No. It's Maisa Nisim. It's Osur to have anah for Maisa Nisim. Because it caused the Tirchat HaYash Baruch Hu. L'machar Asyon Arbe Dechita de Parzina. Don't worry about it. But if you don't use Maisa Nisim, don't worry. You'll get your arak from another place. You'll get your wheat from another place. It came in another ship. He said, let's fast. Nothing happened. You have to stay here overnight in a Taanis. We started late, Rabbi. It was Chanukah and the whole thing. I came here at the 7:17. It wasn't even finished yet. People were still putting on tefillin, taking off tefillin when I was started this year. You get a few extra minutes. If anybody saw something in the dream, let me know. They said in my dream, Shalom Tov, L'Rav Tov, Meribum Tov. Shalom Aleichem to you, to the Rebbe, to the Master. The Mituve Meitav La'amei. From his good he gives to the world. Omar says Rava Shmamino. He's Ratzini the Mivirachmi Boy Rachmi V'Osa Mitra. Fine, we'll stop over here. Rabbi Sai. Have a tremendous Zois Chanukah. Have a wonderful day. Welcome to all the guests. Tzeichem L'Shalom. Have a great trip back. Jeff Gordon, Rav Dikotsky. Unbelievable. We need a good picture here.